Well, hello my beautiful people. My name is Gant and welcome back to Ascendant Hearts. Before we start the video, I want to say I'm streaming tomorrow! I'm gonna start streaming tomorrow at 10 p.m. PST time, Tuesday, May 11th. I'm gonna start streaming and I'm so excited. I put the link in the description to see, the stream and everything when I'll be on and stuff. We'll probably play Skyrim or this visual novel that just came out like a couple days ago. So yeah. Anyway, the last episode, you know what happened. What happened? We met Dr. Takizawa, and I kept butchering his name a lot. And Shiori and Aiko got in a fight because Aiko doesn't trust Shiori because, she might be a traitor. Then she let us know why she joined our guild and everything. And I'm like, that is dumb. Really, she was just so dumb and I hate it so much. Alrighty. Anyway, without further ado, let us continue. In the morning, I head to the town square where Shiori is already waiting. Okay, I gotta just double click, really. Every time I start this, double click. Good morning, ready to go? We should wait for Aiko. Are you sure she's coming? I think about our disturbing conversation at the inn. She convinced me that she can save my life by being in our party when Shiori goes on her theoretical murderous rampage. She'll be here. Fine. Sure enough, after a few minutes, Aiko emerges from the inn and joins us. Good morning. Or not. Looks like she's still not happy about the situation. Of course, she thinks she's gonna die. So that's understandable. No, fuck you. Let's get this over with. The laboratory looks at the same as it did yesterday, but this time, Dr. Takizawa is in the main room. He rubs his hands together in glee when he sees us. Are you ready for the result? Fuck. Are you ready for the results of the experiment? Yes. He paces back and forth in front of us. At long last, I've been able to analyze the water of the sacred springs. What mysteries would I uncover? The true nature of the gods, a scientific explanation for the blessings of the waters bestowed, an even greater mystery. From time to time, he waves his hands in the air to emphasize his point. First, I studied the water itself. Water, yes, hydrogen, oxygen, the same composition in water you might find anywhere. But was that truly the end, or was there something more? I glance at Aiko, who shrugs. Shiori looks as casual as though Dr. Takizawa was launched in a monologue when he asked to explain the test results. I delved deeper and took a closer look. There was something strange about the water. Its atoms were different. Yet, this was a mystery I cannot solve through analysis alone. There was only one path open to me, an experiment. Aiko leans closer to me. Her voice was a whisper. Is he ever gonna tell us the results? I hope so. Shh, let the doctor speak. I really doubt our whispering has even the slightest chance of slowing his explanation. For all the attention he pays to us, he might as well be alone in the room. What would happen if a test subject drank this special water? Would I need more time? More water? I certainly hope he's not going to ask us to go back to the sacred spring again. One encounter with the gardens was quite enough, thank you. I gave a tiny amount of water to a whammer, while the others drank from their normal supplies. Then I observed them. I waited, I watched and waited. And do you know what happened? Nothing! My heart sinks. However, the monologue continues. For the sake of science, there was only one thing left to do. I took the remaining water samples and drank it myself. When in doubt, experiment on yourself. This guy is a mad scientist, alright? At first, I experienced no side effects whatsoever. Could it be that the water of the sacred spring is merely regular water after all? In dismay, I returned to the rammer I used as my first test subject, and... He pauses dramatically. And? The poor thing wasn't dead, was it? Certainly not, but for a fleeting moment, I realized it needed a bigger chamber. The one I gave it was too small. As I moved my captive whammers, the implications on this revelation hit me. I love it. Another dramatic pause. Aiko and I exchanged dubious glances. Even Shiori seems to be put off. It's very nice that the mad scientist decided to take care of his test subjects, but what does this have to do with the water sample? I understood the whammers better than anyone. Not just them, but all of my test subjects. At that moment, I knew. The water of the sacred springs, the supposed blessing of the gods, they stem from the fabled power of lost to mankind, ascendancy. Silence follows. Dr. Takizawa pronouncement. I glance at Aiko, who shrugs, and then Shiori. She looks just as confused as me. We all turn to Dr. Takizawa. You could look a little more shocked, you know? A few gasps of all wouldn't hurt. So, what you just told us is pretty significant then? Of course it is! Weren't you listening? The water is tied to ascendancy! What does that mean? The scientist stares at each of us in turn. For once, he appears to be at a loss for words. His mouth opens and closes several times before he speaks. None of you heard of ascendancy? No? Me neither. Don't look at me. Like we asked the guy with amnesia. Anyway. It is also called ascendant magic. Perhaps you heard of that. No, I don't think so. Really? Bah! What are they teaching young adventurers these days? I suspect this is the doing of the High Cleric. Or perhaps the Guild Master. Those fools! I know I'm peeking. And I know for you it's like, yeah, for the love of God, turn it down. Those fools! To suppress knowledge such as this! High Cleric Nisei would never suppress a people's knowledge. He believes highly in education. Perhaps he is... Perhaps surely he does, but there has always been rumors that ascendant magic is tied to the power of the gods. I say this water sample from the so-called sacred spring proves it. Great. We really have committed heresy or something. I see enough evil religion in video games to know this is a bad spot to be in. But I wouldn't rule out the guild master as the culprit. Why would he do it? What do adventurers do all day? They ran out and fight monsters for rewards. It's the guild master's livelihood. And I've heard it begin because he has a vendetta against monsters for something that happened long ago. What does this have to do with ascendancy? Its discovery can make people question his entire system, don't you see? No. Of course not. Because we still don't know what ascendancy is. Could you please stop arguing over why we don't know about it and get to the point? Very well. Ascendancy or ascendant magic is a legendary class of magic that allows people to communicate with monsters. Wait, you mean they can talk to them? I'm not sure why she's so shocked when she considered it perfectly normal for monsters to participate in the adventure system. The more powerful ones could. Lesser examples of ascendancy merely results in a greater understanding of monsters. This is what I experimented when I ingest the water from the sacred springs. So, if a person drinks enough of the water, they could talk to monsters? Oh, I doubt that. It's far too weak of an effect. To truly use ascendant magic, you need to be born with the ability, and it hasn't been seen in centuries. That's probably why no one talks about it anymore. It's old enough to be a myth. But now we have proof it could be true. He practically jumps up and down in excitement. Sheer scientific glee fills his voice. I suspect this to explain the sacred blessings as well. Someone anointed with this water, and especially someone who drank it, would have a temporary understanding of monsters. They would be able to avoid dangers, possibly find monsters' dens for quests. I must begin work on an official report at once! What a wonderful day for science! Wait, Dr. Takizawa, before we go, what effect does it have on the monsters to drink it? I expect better of you, Shiori! Huh? I clearly explained in my earlier speech that I have no effects on my test subjects. But that doesn't make any sense. The natural assumption is that the monsters would be able to understand humans better, but ascendancy has gone in one direction, from the humans to monsters. No, I mean, it doesn't make sense that the Dark Wolves would stop at the Sacred Springs. She's right. In all the excitement over having the water analyzed, I almost forgot from our original reason for doing it. We're trying to understand the Dark Wolves, and the Sacred Springs seem to be the step in the right direction. What are you talking about? What did the Dark Wolves have to do with this water? The last time they attacked Lightshire, they left behind one of the Sacred Springs flowers. When we went to investigate, the the guardians were agitated. We thought maybe the monster stopped there before teleporting to Lightshire. That's why we wanted the water analyzed. At first he just stares at us. Then he throws his hands in the air and races back and forth across the lab in the fastest example of pacing I've ever seen. What is science coming to? The lot of you could have at least... Doing his voice just hurts. It just hurts me in my soul, man. Okay. What is science coming to? The lot of you have the least scientific minds I've ever seen. Analyze the water, you said, discover its special properties, and for what? To answer your question about monsters that may may not have anything to do with the water. It just made sense. No, you found a connection between the Dark Wolves and the flowers, nothing more. But your unscientific minds linked to the water. Bah! All this time, my experiments, my breakthrough! But it was still a great day for science, wasn't it? The scientist stopped and frowned at me. His anger abraded, and he looked satisfied again. Why, you are correct. I did not do these experiments merely to help you, but for science! Just calm down, Bill Nye. Sorry, I was talking to my sisters earlier and we were talking about fucking Bill Nye. Like, I went to my mom's. It's Mother's Day when I'm recording. Well, it's no longer Mother's Day. Well, it's about to be 12 like in 3 minutes, so technically it's still Mother's Day. So yeah, we're just talking about Bill Nye. We're talking about, elementaries, because we all went to the same elementary, but except my other brother. But me and my two younger sisters, we went to the same elementary. I finished from 5th to 6th, while my little sisters, I think one of them finished there, and the other one just switched schools. But, we're talking about Bill Nye the Science Guy, and now it's just funny that this guy's like, for science! For Bill! For our Lord and Savior Bill, really? Why does that come to my mind? I feel like I'm starting to understand how Dr. Takizawa's mind works. It's a rather alarming realization. So, we did all of this for nothing? No, you did it for science! And we did learn something, even if it wasn't what we expected. Still though, this doesn't help our mission to investigate the monsters at all. Dr. Takizawa clears his throat. We could give up on our quest. No, not happening. But we need to protect the town. Dr. Takizawa clears his throat again, a bit louder this time. Then what are we gonna do? I don't know. That was our only lead. I suppose we can investigate the Sacred Spring again? But aside from the water, I'm not sure what we could find there. Scientist clears his throat again with such vigor, he sounds like he's choking to death. Are you okay, Doctor? I guess we'll need to start from the beginning. Enough! Can you people take a hint? Can't you people take a hint? We all stare at him. You're overlooking the obvious. The two girls look at me, and I shrug. We return our puzzling gaze to the mad scientist, who clears his throat a few more times before he throws his arms up in the air in disgust. I know exactly what he's gonna say. Okay, hear me out. Well, you know what? Let him explain. And if it's true, if I'm right, then I'll explain it. If I'm wrong, I'm like, No, but it could be this, you know? I can explain it either way.
Such scientific minds! You erroneously linked the dark wolves to the water, and therefore took the water to your friendly neighborhood scientist. You correctly linked the dark wolves to the flower and gave up? Good heavens! If only there were a scientist who could analyze the flower the way he analyzed the water.
Hey, that's right! The idea never crossed my mind until he brought it up. No wonder he seemed so frustrated with us.
Would you do that for us, Dr. Takizawa? I've hardly mentioned it, only to change my mind at the last second. Bring me the flower from the sacred spring so I'll analyze them.
For a horrible moment, our we had to backtrack to the sacred spring and deal with the guardians again. Then I remember putting the original flower into my inventory. With a sigh of relief, I reached into my pocket and focused on accessing my items. It only takes a couple of tries before my fingers come close around the small flower. I must be getting better at this. Here, I hand it over to Dr. Takizawa.
Wonderful! Now bring me 4 more!
What?
You thought only 1 flower was enough for science? Bah! 5 is the minimum I need for a valid, thorough experimentation. You mean you have to go back? If it means we'll learn more about how to stop the dark wolves, I'm all for it. Hayato?
I hate agreeing with her because I'd rather do anything than return to the sacred strings, but I reluctantly nod. Fine, let's just get this over with. Okay, this is what I thought was gonna happen. As being like a guy who loves like these like figuring out shit. This is it. Someone's drinking, a mage, right? Is drinking the water. He goes where the dark wolves are, right? And he's teleporting them into town.
But Cat,
this could explain why they're like evil, right? Why they could kill and be killed, right? It's because the mage, cause the water makes you talk to monsters, right? So you're talking to the monsters, and it's like,
yeah, these guys are a piece of shit. They don't like you. They said you're ugly and all that, and yeah.
What? They said I'm ugly?
Yeah, I'll teleport you to the town that said it. Go happy hunting!
You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. When we reach the spring, it seems oddly peaceful. More like how I expected a sacred place to be, without monsters trying to kill us. And this is a nice change.
Speak for yourself! You'd rather have the guardians attack us? This feels like a trap!
We slowly walk up to the edge of the water. Still no sign of the guardians. I pluck a handful of flowers and put them in my inventory. Since they're so small, I take a few extras just in case. You never know, Dr. Takizawa might say something like,
"These are perfect for my first experiment, but bring me 5 more for the sake of science!"
That's it, we can leave.
Seems like it. Good,
Okay, who are you? The voice makes us all jump. I place my hands on my sword. I can't help but feel like that the person who spoke is probably the reason the guardians aren't around. Anyone who could subdue the guardians makes me nervous. Movements above us catches my eyes. Someone stands on a rocky ledge high above us. Ooh. Shit, I didn't know it was a female. Let's see.
What is your business here?
We came for flowers. Okay? Like, there's no reason to lie for you. I'm not gonna question you. We came for flowers. Now let's just back away slowly. You put your fucking knives away. We just back up and leave.
Why?
Aren't they holy flowers used in ceremonies? It's almost as though she suspected we have another reason for wanting them. Religious reasons. I feel like she doesn't believe me. Could she somehow know we're taking them to Dr. Takizawa?
The sacred springs is a holy place. You cannot forbid people from coming here. Fine then. Be on your way.
She leaps down from the rocks and lands right in front of us. Dude, I thought she pushed her. I was about to be like, ooh, we gotta fight this girl. backwards in surprise, and Aiko loses her balance and falls into the sacred springs with a cry. Shiori looks like she's about to bombard the stranger with fireballs, but the mysterious woman darts forward like a blur and shoves her off balance into the water.
Why, you?
The stranger is already on her way down the mountain. She leaves us as quickly as she arrived. Soaked and dripping with sacred water, Shiori and Aiko clambers out of the pool. The good news is, if Dr. Takizawa's hypothesis about the water so-called being blessed is true, they will be able to avoid monsters for a while. What was that all about?
Maybe she has something to do with the Dark Wolves.
That could be it. Maybe she came here to drink the water and give the Dark Wolves orders to attack the town. Finally, you're using your head. From what Dr. Takizawa said, that wouldn't actually work. But he could have been mistaken. I'm not sure we should take the word of a madman as law. My neck prinkles as though someone is watching us. I whirl towards the mountain and scan the ledge while the stranger stood before, but I can't see anyone. If someone's there, they know how to stay out of sight.
Whoever she is, she certainly was rude, pushing me into the sacred spring like that. Is that what all it takes to stop a mage? That's good to know. Oh, shut up. You look just as silly as I do.
Let's get out of here.
We'll leave as soon as we dry our clothes.
Here? What if the guardians come back?
They'll stay calm. Yes, I feel it too. Besides, it's not healthy to stay in wet clothes for long. Trust me, I'm a healer.
Okay, if you insist.
Hayato, why don't you look around while we dry our clothes? This is a perfect time to check for any clues we might have missed. I'll call you when we're ready.
The last thing I want to do is poke around a mountain that's inhabited by guardians, possibly visited by dark wolves, and have at least one mysterious stranger lurking around. But Shiori and Aiko both fixed me with expected stares. Oh, alright. In truth, I'm a bit curious about how they plan to dry their clothes. An elemental mage might have pretty exciting techniques, and I picture Shiori surrounding herself and Aiko with rings of fire. Nevertheless, I head up to the small patch that leads away from the spring itself, deeper into the mountains. The rest of the spring area isn't very interesting. It's mainly full of rocks without anything I've even considered a vague clue. Then I find something more interesting. A bit too interesting. Nice guardian. Calm or not, it still looks threatening. It almost looks like its relaxed state of mind might disappear at any moment. It eyes me as though debating about how quickly it should kill me. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. I'll just go now. I back away from the garden's territory and make a beeline back to the sacred spring. Whether they finished or not, we need to get out of here. Sticking around will be far worse for their health than wearing wet clothes. Hey, we need to What are you doing? Oh, well, I think that was hold on, H? Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Me? What are you two doing?
We're letting our clothes dry, remember?
You didn't tell me you were going to take them off.
Did you seriously think we were going to dry our clothes while wearing them?
Yes, actually I did.
Idiot.
But what are you doing in the sacred spring?
Relaxing in the water, obviously. Did you lose your memory of hot springs, Hayato?
No, but didn't you say this was a sacred spring?
Yes, it's the sacred springs. That's an important part of why we're investigating it, remember?
But
is something wrong? He's just stalling so he can just keep staring at us.
No, I'm not. I'm just... Is it okay to bathe in the sacred spring? I mean, isn't that sort of disrespectful?
The gods gave us the sacred hot spring for a reason. It would be disrespectful to ignore it. Besides, we need all the blessings we can get.
Blessings?
Yes.
She speaks slower, as though she's starting to believe I'm dense.
The waters of the sacred spring grant people the blessing of the gods, or we now know from Dr. Takizawa.
You can't be blessed by sitting in a hot spring? They exchange glances.
Yes, but only the sacred springs. It's a common ritual. People regularly make pilgrimages here.
Pilgrimage to bathe in the hot springs. And now I heard everything. I tried to imagine Nisei leading a group of people here for this purpose, but it's too ridiculous.
Why did he come back anyway? Shiori said to call you. He came to spry us, that's all.
No, I came here because the guardians are around.
No kidding, they live here, remember?
But...
Thanks to the water of the sacred spring, we can tell we're in no danger from the guardians. Dr. Takizawa's hypothesis was correct.
I tried to imagine the look of the scientist's face if he knew they were using his theories about the water and ascendancies to determine whether or not it was safe to bathe in the sacred spring.
Now, are you going to keep staring or?
No, Damn it, I'm gonna stall for time so much. But it's just gonna end so fucking badly. And also, I wanna find more clues. Fuck you. Like, this is what I hate about visual novels. Like, if I leave, what? Just nothing happens and, you know, like it's the next scene, right? But like, what if I leave and I find clues? You know, that you won't find, or like something even funnier. Because if you stop for time, like, you're not gonna see anything. It's a visual novel. You're just gonna get them pissed at you. I'm gonna leave. Hopefully I find clues or something. Or like, a guardian just punched me to death. That'll be funny too. Right, I'll go. If you're sure it's safe. Embarrassed and still a bit perplexed, I leave. I wander around the mountains and try to avoid the guardians until Shiori finally calls my name. I approach the sacred springs cautiously. No! Fuck! Every fucking time! Every goddamn time! I hate it so much! Like... even when I play visual novels on my own time, I hate it so much. Like, I always pick the wrong ones. Like, I know it would be funny, but it's like, what if I leave and I find clues or I get punched by the guardian? Like, I would laugh my ass off if fucking Hayato goes back. He's like, okay, they say you were nice. Hey, buddy, hey, dead. Like, I think that would be funny. Damn it. Okay, next time, I'm just gonna go for the lewd one, okay? I promise. I wander around the mountain and try to avoid the guardians until Shiori finally calls my name. I approach the sacred spring cautiously.
That was very rude of you earlier, Hayato. No, that was very rude of you earlier, Hayato.
I didn't do it on purpose.
A likely story. Come on, we should leave before the guardians become restless. What took you so long?
Shiori scowls and Aiko hides her face. They had a close encounter with the water of the sacred springs. The good news is, the water really did tell them whether or not there was any danger from the monsters.
Going for a swim is hardly scientific, but I suppose I couldn't follow your enthusiasm.
It wasn't quite like that.
Just give him the flowers.
Her tone makes it clear that if I waste any more time, she'll take out her annoyance at the stranger on me instead. I hastily retrieve the collection of flowers from my inventory and hold them out to the scientist.
Excellent! Ooh, and I say you brought more than the 4 I asked for. You don't realize I wouldn't hand out any quest reward for this, correct?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure you had enough for all your experiments.
I admire your determination to science!
More like my determination to never deal with the guardians again.
How quickly can you analyze the flowers? 3 days! 3 days? I know, it's rather impressive, isn't it? Once you become a true scientist like myself, you'll find that you can manage your time quite effectively too. No, I'm not impressed. We can't wait 3 days. These things take time.
But what are we supposed to do for the next 3 days?
Whatever you adventurers normally do. Now shoo, all of you, or I won't analyze the flowers at all.
Looks like it's 3 days or nothing. We'll have to accept it.
I can't believe we have to wait. We're not on deadline. Every day we don't stop the Dark Wolves, there's one more day they could attack. Lightshire has been fortunate so far, but we can't keep going like this.
Hey, what if we tried to research the legendary magic he told us about?
Ascendancy? I thought we decided to have nothing to do with the monsters.
We don't know that for sure. And that woman at the Sacred Spring didn't seem like she was there for any religious reason. This might still be important.
Right, let's split up and see what we can learn about anything at all about Ascendancy or Ascendant magic. We'll meet at the end this evening to share our findings. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
It feels weird to be here by myself. I look around for someone to talk to and finally approach the counter where we turn in the quest. Excuse me. Okay, Billy, I know you said that you don't want deep voice, but I'm gonna do it for her. You wanna know why? I hate doing high pitches every time. Like that doctor guy took it out of me. Okay?
Yes?
Have you ever heard of Ascendancy?
Have I heard of what?
Ascendancy. It's also called Ascendant magic.
Is that a new method of fight?
Flight? Not even close.
Then I have no idea.
Oh, thanks anyway. As I look for someone else to ask, he calls him after me.
Hey, you're the new guy who joined Shiori's group, aren't you?
Yes. Is he going to give me a hard time about Shiori again?
The guildmaster was asking about you.
Me? Why?
No idea. He wanted to know who you were, where you came from, how you end up working with Shiori, that sort of thing.
I see.
If you see him around, maybe you should talk to him.
Alright, thanks for letting me know. Fuck that. It's a little weird though. I know he's tried to warn me about Shiori, but what would make the guildmaster that take specific interest in me? Well, if I run into him again, I'll talk to him. Right now though, I need to focus on asking people about Ascendant magic. That night, I arrive at the inn first. I spend the day walking up to random people, asking them if they ever heard of Ascendancy or Ascendant magic. No one had. On the plus side, at least they didn't seem put off by me asking. Maybe adventurers ask random questions of strangers all the time. The door opens and Aiko walks in. When she sees me, she joins me at my table.
Any luck?
No.
Me neither.
I have to wonder if she has actually tried. Giving her feelings about continuing along a story quest, it will probably insult her if I ask, though. I ask, though, so I keep those thoughts to myself. Shiori bursts into the inn and runs to our table. You look excited. Did you
learn something? What do you want first, the good news or the bad news?
The bad news.
The good news.
We look at each other. You always ask for the bad news first. That way, the good news will cheer you up.
If you say so.
What's the bad news, Shiori?
We can't get into the place where we might learn more about Ascendancy. And the good news? I found a place where we might learn more about Ascendancy. Yeah, it only works if I give the good news first.
Well, what is this place and why can't we go there? And why did she look so excited when she came in? If she didn't find anything that can actually help us.
I returned to the ancient library of Kurt to search for any references to Ascendant magic. I found one, but it was only a tiny reference. It mentioned Ascendant magic as one of the primary interests of the worshippers of the Temple of Basil.
So, what's the problem?
Basil, I heard that name. The Temple of Basil is one of the more popular raids.
Raids? You mean like raid quests?
You know about raids? Is your memory returning?
My memory of RPGs is just fine, thank you. My knowledge on how those things correspond to this world, still not so good. Can you refresh my memory?
I don't know much about raids either. Okay. Rare adventure items dungeons are special locations filled with powerful monsters, and they can always contain fantastic rewards for any adventurers who make it to the end. They're called raids because of the acronym, and because at the start, adventurers rush in and try to raid the reward before anyone else. That was before they knew the reward was before they knew that the reward would replenish.
Why do they replenish?
I assume the monsters get new items ready.
Why?
Or maybe the gods replace the rewards. That makes sense.
No, it does not! No, it doesn't! What the But, oh, never mind. If we do this raid, we'll learn more about Ascendant's magic.
We might, however, the Temple of Basil is only open to parties with at least 4 members.
Oh. Silence descends over us. It was hard enough getting Aiko to join us. How could we possibly go get a 4th party member? Well, I guess we have to try, right? Last time, when we posted our request for a healer, we left to wait. This time, we stay in the hopes of roping in anyone who seems even a little interested. Our request is simple. We need a temporary party member for a single quest in the Temple of Basil. One by one, adventurers walk to the board to look over the quest. One by one, they read our notice and turn away without more than a quick glance in our direction. By the time 5 people have ignored our request, I'm a bit annoyed. It's time to make a more direct approach. When the new adventurers read it, I step forward. Hi!
What are you doing?
I'm a new adventurer, and I've never been on a raid before. Want to join my party to help me out? The adventurer gives me a withering stare. By your party, do you mean hers? I glance back at Shiori. Well, yes, we're in the same party. No thanks. I glare at the adventurer departing back. This is ridiculous! Another person arrives to check their quest. She reads the notice. She gives us a quick look and turns away. I step forward to stop her. Hi, I'm a new adventurer, and I'd really like to try out this raid.
I'm not joining the traders party.
Stand up for Shiori. There is no logical reason to believe Shiori would betray anyone. Besides, it's just a raid. Why would she betray us on a raid?
I'm not taking any chances.
Defeated, I step back to wait in silence again. Hearing their absurd beliefs about Shiori makes it even worse. She doesn't seem as angry as I expected though. Annoyed, yes, but not as much as she should be for someone everyone believes in a traitor. Someone else arrives to look over the quest. She ignores our notice. Then another one arrives. He reads it and shakes his head. Aiko steps forward. Huh? What are you?
It's okay. I'm the traitor.
Fuck.
I'm the one the traitor will kill on our quest, so we'll be perfectly safe if you join our party.
Don't say things like that!
Wait, she believes what?
The adventurer leaves, but Aiko waves urgently to the next one who arrives.
Will you join our party? It's for a single dungeon, and I'm the one who's doomed to die anyway.
Stop saying that! Despite your efforts, it's still not enough to sway anyone. We stay there until late in the evening. We finally give up as a lost cause and decide to try again tomorrow. After a long morning of failed recruitment attempts, we gather at the end to commensurate and to have lunch and to try to think of a new plan, but mainly concentrate. This is the worst.
It's all my fault. I'm sorry.
Don't blame yourself.
But it is my fault. You two would have better luck forming your own party and asking for 2 new members. What would be the point of that? This is your quest.
I stare at her in shock. I expect her to leap at the first opportunity I have to leave Shiori's party. She seems to be at a loss for words.
Of course we could give up. Not a chance. Then? I guess we need a new plan. The Temple of Basil is out. Dr. Takezawa still needs a couple of days to complete his research. I don't suppose either of you found any references to ascendancy?
Nope.
None. Then, where do we go from here?
Before either of us can answer, a familiar voice cuts through our conversation. You go to the Temple of Basil. Oh, it's Naked Girl! A woman walks up to our table. Not only is she carrying unsheathed daggers, but the very way she moves makes her seem dangerous. Yet something about her strikes a chord in my memory. You're the woman from the river!
That's right. My name is...
Wait, I had something for her.
That's right. My name is Chisei.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to become your 4th party member.
We all stare at the woman. I know we posed a request for a party member, and we can't exactly afford to be picky about who we take. but I didn't expect someone to approach us so bluntly about it. She sits at the table with us.
Well, don't gawk. We need to prepare for the Temple Bazo. Are we going today?
Shiori recovers for her composure first.
Yes, we can go today, as long as everyone is ready. The sooner we get it over with, the better.
But we don't even know you. No, fuck it. I'm not looking a gift. What is it? I'm not looking a gift out of fuck it. We're not gonna take a chance, okay? What if we question her if she leaves? Sure, let's go today. It doesn't matter why she wants to join us. We need a party member and she's interested. That's all we need to know.
Hayato, Aiko, neither of you have ever been on a raid before, correct? That's right.
Well, yes. It's not like I could tell her I've gone on raids in MMORPGs. At best, you think I'm crazy. At worst, MMORPG means something here, and I'll have to accidentally declare membership to some secret cult.
What about you, Chisei? I've never gone on many raids.
Fuck. Well, I'm looking at my notes again.
I've never gone on many raids, and in fact, I've been to the Temple of Bazo many times.
Is that why she wants to join us? It's her favorite dungeon or something? Even to overcome even Shiori's reputation.
This one will be a little different. We aren't going to grab the reward and rush for the boss. We need to do research along the way. Research? Supposedly, the worshippers were interested in ascendant magic. That's the legendary power said to allow people to communicate with monsters.
You heard of it?
Obviously.
Dr. Takizawa would be so happy.
Why are you researching it? It could have something to do with the Dark Wolves.
And then there was this mysterious woman at the Sacred Springs. I can't shake the strange encounter from my mind. It could have been a coincidence that we were at the Sacred Springs to investigate the attacks when she appeared, could it? It seems like she wanted us to leave as quickly as possible, like she had something to hide. Then again, she left before us. Maybe she's naturally antagonistic. On the other hand, in this place, that could have been the start of a side quest.
The point is, we want to research the Temple of Bazo for any information about Ascendant magic.
Still interested?
Yes.
Great! When can we leave?
Wait, if we're going to the Temple of Bazo's raid, we need to stack up on covatives. Good point.
Why? I mean, we have a healer.
No offense to your healer, but I'd rather not place all of our hopes on her.
But
it's okay. I wouldn't want everyone depending on me anyway.
Nevertheless, she sounds a little put off as she says it.
The Temple of Bazo is extremely dangerous, particularly if you want to poke around in every nook and cranny for clues about Ascendant magic.
Okay. She rises from the table.
I'll stack up on the items.
We watch her leave at the inn and then exchange baffled glances with one another. Is it just my amnesia, or is this a little weird?
On the one hand, people join new parties all the time. Some adventurers wait around until party members have an opening, especially if it's for a specific quest. She did say she has a lot of experience with Temple of Bazo. She might be a professional raider.
And on the other hand,
I find it hard to believe we're the only party planning to do this raid in the near future. Why did you pick us? Maybe she wants to help us out. Maybe.
The dubious note in her voice suggests she doesn't share Aiko's optimistic appraisal of our new party member. Wait a minute, I see where this is going. This is part where a mysterious person joins us, and our party becomes divided due to mistrust and lack of communication. Oh no, I'm not letting that happen. Let's ask her about it.
What?
Ask. We walk up to her and say, why do you want to join our party? Easy.
And if she doesn't answer?
She will. They both look a little skeptical about that, but I stand up and lead the way out of the inn.
There you are. I bought several curatives. Add me to your party so we can use them.
I added to the party? How? When Aiko joined, she just joined.
Your party leader needs to add me.
I glance over my shoulder as Shiori and Aiko joins us. Shiori, is there a way to add Shisei to our party?
Yes, but first...
She fixes Shisei with an intense stare.
Why do you want to join our party?
I wince. When I said at the inn, it had a casual, curious tone. Shiori, however, makes it sound like an accusation.
I have my reasons. What are they? For the time being, I prefer to keep that information to myself.
My heart sinks.
Has anyone else offered to join your party? No? Then you need me if you want to enter Temple Basil.
She's right. I glance at Shiori and give a tiny nod. She doesn't look happy, but she sighs.
Fine, you're in. Perfect.
Once again, she leaves first and heads towards the fields. We follow at a slower pace.
Now what? It's awfully strange that she wouldn't tell us why she wanted to join us.
There's nothing to worry about. Fuck you guys. Like, seriously, bud.
But yeah, for party members, there's always a traitor.
No, shut up. Like, stop. Like, am I the only sane one here? Like, stop suspecting one another. Okay? Because if you do that, the person who feels outed is gonna be the killer or the whatever. There's nothing to worry about. I know things are different here, but just isn't that suspicious. Shisei's behavior is a little weird, but maybe she's just a private person. Ah, fuck. The moment he says I'm like, I fucked up.
You're very trusting.
What's the worst that could happen?
She could turn out to be the traitor and attack us.
I don't think she's a traitor any more than Shiori is.
I hope you're right.
I think I'm gonna end it there. Because we're gonna do our raid in the next episode, so you know what I mean? So I'm gonna end it there. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to see whenever I post, and leave a comment. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna stream tomorrow. At 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm so excited. But I still don't know what to play. Either Skyrim or what's the other game it was a visual novel called Mama Yaki? I'll have to look at my thing, but I'm pretty sure that's the game. Mama Yaki. And I'm like, I wanna play the visual novel. But I don't know. Maybe okay. This is how I'm gonna plan it out. The first half an hour, we'll just chill, talk, whatever. You know, shoot the shit. Then, you know, after that, we play games. Maybe you'll give me suggestions. Maybe we're like, why don't we play? Or like, we'll do a poll, like Skyrim or Mama Yaki. Or we could play, let's see what other games now that I'm thinking. I have strategy games. I love strategy games like Stellaris and EU4 and Hearts of Iron. Like, oh my god, man. But like, I don't think I can play that because I get way into it. Like, seriously, man, I could 10 hours, no bathroom, no water, no food. I've done it before, 10 hours just playing the game. And like, when I got on my chair, I literally fell. Like, I fell. Like, I was dehydrated, I wanted to pee badly, and my legs were numb. So I won't play that. But, come see me tomorrow. Oh my god. Anyway, this is Gat saying farewell. And as always,